Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of What About This? My name is Lars Luckhan, and today I'm talking about Star Wars Celebration. So, last week, exactly a week from today, Star Wars Celebration was going on in Chicago, and I got the privilege to go down there Saturday and Sunday, and I had a great time. It's like as a Star Wars fan, it's one of the coolest events that any Star Wars nerd could go to. So if you're not familiar, you're probably thinking, well, what is Star Wars Celebrations? It's pretty much a convention, like a Comic-Con, just for Star Wars. It's got exhibit halls, it's got panels where you can go see stuff. All the movie stars are there, a lot of them end up going there. They show new content for upcoming Star Wars projects. It's a lot of fun. There's so many things, cool things to see and do. It's a lot of fun, and it's a really good time. And I'm gonna go through a couple of questions, just like common questions, what people might ask me about Star Wars Celebration. So I'm gonna just start about what was your favorite part about it? And usually, what my first answer would be is the panels, because those are the places where you get to learn the new content and stuff like that. But I'm gonna just save that for a different question. So I'm gonna just go off and say my favorite part is the cosplay stuff. The cosplay stuff is so cool. You see so many people dressed up, and these aren't just put together costumes last second. These people spend months on these costumes, and they're top notch. Even one of the head Lucasfilm people, producers, Dave Filoni, he even says some of the costumes are better than the ones that they have in studio. It's quite amazing that a lot of people put this effort in just to go dressed up, and it's one of the things that makes it special. You might think if you're not really Star Wars, oh, that sounds kind of weird or ugh, all these people are dressing up like a bunch of nerds or something But no, it's you're kind of oh my god. But actually, when you go and see it, it's actually quite fascinating what they all do. And there's so many different things that they do. There's so many funny, just random things you might not even think of that's in a movie that they turn in a cosplay. Um, just some of these costumes you'd be seeing, it's just so cool. And just walking around talking to everyone's there for one purpose, and that's Star Wars. And that is just one for me, because I don't have too many people to talk to about Star Wars. That's one of my favorite parts, is being able to just go up to anyone and just talk and just have a good time, and seeing all these new things, costumes, panels, collectibles. Everyone's there for one reason, to enjoy, celebrate Star Wars, have a good time, and it's just honestly fun that way. And I really enjoy that aspect of it. Now going on to the next question is, what was your favorite panel? And what a panel is, if you don't know, it's just basically everyone comes into a room. People who are the creators of the content, let's say a video game, movie, TV show, they come on stage and they kind of talk about it, and they tease some things, maybe show a trailer and some footage, and that's basically what a panel is. So I got to go to let me see, I got to go see the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order panel. Then later we went and saw the cosplay competition, which was really cool, and Star Wars tourism. And that was one where they show different places in the world you can travel, places that are in the films. And then on Sunday, we won the lottery to the Mandalorian, and we went to the Clone Wars, and then we went to see Anthony Daniels' droidography panel, where he goes on and talks, and he's a quite the interesting guy, and he's kind of fun to listen to. So my favorite panel. The panels get better when the crowd's more into it, and definitely the two panels that I enjoyed the best is The Mandalorian and The Clone Wars. The Mandalorian was cool. Everyone is hyped for this show. It's something different. It's like a western. It's gonna be live action Game of Thrones type quality. They're putting $10 million into this. like $1 million per show. It's the same type of budget Game of Thrones has basically. So it's high quality stuff, and it's gonna be on Disney Plus, and I'm really looking forward to that. The panel was just fun. We got to see some exclusive footage that people at home didn't get to see, so that's pretty exciting. And we got cool posters, little pins, stuff like that, little collectible stuff like from every panel you got to go to. Clone Wars, same thing. They live streamed it, so a lot of people got to see the whole thing. But that I've been excited for. They when they canceled the show, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, and then they thought the show was too violent for kids because it's a cartoon. So Disney kind of wanted to stop it. It was getting kind of violent, so they canceled it, which kind of everyone's a lot of Star Wars fans are bummed about. So now the Disney Plus is coming up. They're gonna finish it off, which I'm so happy about. And that panel was so much fun. I'm so excited to see the Siege of Mandalore. That's the one thing I've been looking forward to. I heard stories about it. I know there's a book about it, but I have no time to read a book. I don't even like reading books, even if it is Star Wars. It takes too much time. But seeing it in a couple of episodes, I'm very excited. You got the Bad Batch too, which I'm excited. I don't know too much about them. I just know they're like super soldiers of the clones army, so I'm excited about that. So the next question is, what was something kind of disappointing? There's nothing really too much that would be too disappointing. Well, one, I'll get to that later, is how it was run, some things. But the only thing was kind of like Jedi Fallen Order. I am very excited for the game. There's only two things like I was kind of disappointed about. One, the trailer, I was like waiting for that wow moment, and it didn't really get there to the very end. I mean, there's a couple of cool things in there, but it was just like I was just waiting, and it just didn't get over the edge. So I was like, ugh. And then just like how there isn't going to be too much stealth in the game for the whole story of him trying to avoid Imperials and sneaking around and hiding. You would think it would be more of a stealth game, kind of like Last of Us. But it still sounds fun. But I was like, oh, that was really only a disappointing thing. Maybe the cosplay competition, I didn't like the ones that are the people that won in each category, but that's like not a big deal to me. It was just fun to be there and see the costumes. Next question. Did you meet any people or like any new people or like actors or something? And this time I didn't get to meet any actors. In Orlando, I got to meet Alan Tudyk. He played K2SO in Rogue One, but I didn't get to go and do any autographs and stuff like that. But I did get to meet some of the EA game developers. One, the head honcho, Dennis Brownville. He's an awesome guy. He kind of gave us some teases of stuff, and they all gave us little teases. I'll get to that in a different video. And then I met Battlefront Updates, who's a YouTuber who does Battlefront type material. And then Guam, he's the hero designer of Battlefront 2, so that was pretty exciting. That was just cool to talk to him and just talk about different contents and stuff like that. Is it worth for a Star Wars fan to go to? Yes, at least once. If you're a Star Wars fan and you're just like, oh, I just wish I'd go to something that other people are just into Star Wars as much as me, that's definitely a place to go. I'd recommend it to at least try it if you're a Star Wars fan. If you're not a huge Star Wars fan, it's not really worth for you to spend money to go to. It's more for not like the hardcore fans, but if you're just like know it and you're wanting to experience something new, I would definitely recommend it for a Star Wars fan. What could they do to improve? I mean, it ran pretty swell compared to Orlando, where you had to wait in line for the panels for hours. I hated that. That was such a mess. This time they did the app where they did lotteries. The lotteries worked great, I thought. The app was down, like it didn't work to reserve panels, but once it worked on Sunday, so it was the last day for us. But once it worked really well. I enjoyed it. We got to go into the Celebration store right away and do the light speed thing. It was actually really fun and enjoyable. So I thought it was well organized, this time for just like getting the panels and stuff, and that's the things I want to see the most. So I thought that was really well done. Just a little bit of bug fixes for the app, and then just the location. I mean, it was great. The McCormick Center or Arena, or oh, it's the McCormick Place, the Wintrust Arena, where the celebration stage is. That was smart, so they could fit as many people into the celebration part as possible. But the the mapping out was very confusing. It was a confusing building, and that's the only thing that I'm great at direction, and sometimes I got a little lost. But that's the only other complaint. And then the last question was, where and when will the next celebration be at? Well, it was announced at the closing ceremony that the next celebration is going to be in Anaheim, California next year, 2020. So I don't know if I'll be able to go or not. I hope so. Hopefully I can save up money to go, but that's where it'll be at. If you're interested, I highly suggest you go and try it out once, even if it's not, like, it was close for Chicago, so it was easy for travel, but I suggest you go once. I had such a great time there. Celebration is always fun. It's like kind of like my inner nerdness comes out for Star Wars there, and I really like just had a great time. It was jam packed. I wish I could have had more days there, because you really need like all those days there to experience everything. But 2 days we jam packed full with stuff, and we got to see a lot of stuff, which I was happy about. But other than that, that was my time at Celebration. I had a great time. I loved it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And maybe if you're a Star Wars fan interested in doing something like that, maybe check it out and see what it's all about, and maybe go and see, because it's actually really fun. Other than that, comment down below your ideas for future videos, subscribe and hit the like button, and we'll see you real soon.